The year Carlos stopped trying to grow his business was the year it finally scaled. He had 5 locations, tried to open a 6th, failed catastrophically, lost everything. Started over with 1 location, built different. Within 3 years, he owned 20 locations. This is the repeatable step principle. This is called the process before scale paradox. Most entrepreneurs try to scale before they build repeatable systems. They think growth means more locations, more customers, more revenue. They confuse expansion with scaling. Expansion multiplies effort. Scaling multiplies results without multiplying effort. The difference is invisible steps. Carlos learned this the expensive way. He built a successful restaurant, then tried to replicate success through force. Open more locations, hire more people, work harder. Revenue grew. Profit disappeared. His ladder had missing rungs. Every new location required him personally. He was not scaling. He was cloning his own exhaustion. Strategic entrepreneurs build the ladder before they climb it. They document every step that creates success. They test that others can follow those steps. They ensure each rung is solid before adding the next location. Boring, slow. But when they scale without breaking. This is not about staying small. This is about understanding that broken ladders cannot support weight. You can climb 2 rungs on a broken ladder. The 3rd rung kills you. Carlos climbed to rung 5. Rung 6 destroyed him. He rebuilt the ladder, then climbed to rung 20. Same person, different ladder. Carlos opens his first restaurant in 2015, a small Filipino barbecue spot in Quezon City. He cooks, he serves, he cleans, he manages. Everything runs through him. The food is excellent. Customers love it. Lines form daily. Year 1 revenue, 2,400,000 pesos. Profit, 720,000 pesos. Successful by any measure. Year 2, he thinks bigger. If the restaurant works, why not replicate? He opens a 2nd location in Makati. Same menu, same concept, different location. He splits his time between both restaurants. He hires managers, trains them briefly. He expects them to replicate what he does naturally. The 2nd location struggles. Quality is inconsistent. Customers complain. Carlos does not understand why. Shows the managers how to cook. They watch, they try, it tastes different. He shows them how to serve customers. They try. The experience feels off. Nothing transfers cleanly. Spends more time at location 2 trying to fix it. Location 1 starts declining. He is spreading thin. Year 3 brings the expansion trap. Despite location 2 struggling, Carlos opens location 3 in Pasig. He believes scale will solve the problems. More revenue will cover the inefficiencies. He hires more managers. He explains his vision. He hopes they understand. They nod. They try. Results vary wildly. His 3 locations generate 8 million pesos revenue. Sounds impressive. But profit is only 400,000 pesos. His profit margin collapsed from 30% to 5%. He works 80 hours weekly running between locations putting out fires. Every location has different problems. Nothing is standardized. He is exhausted but thinks this is normal entrepreneurship. Work harder. Push through. Scale will make it worth it. Year 5, Carlos has 5 locations. Revenue, 15 million pesos. Profit, 0. Actually negative 200,000 pesos when he accounts for everything. How did this happen? Revenue quintupled. Profit disappeared. He is working 100 hours weekly. His 30 employees. Chaos everywhere. Different locations serve different quality food. Customer complaints increase. Employee turnover is 60% annually. He cannot train people fast enough. He decides the solution is scale even larger. So open location 6 that will push him over the profitability threshold. He secures funding. He signs a lease. He opens in Alabang. Big investment. His most expensive location yet. Location 6 collapses within 4 months. The managers he hired cannot maintain standards. The food quality is terrible. Customers leave bad reviews. The location bleeds money. Carlos spends all his time there trying to save it. The other 5 locations deteriorate without his attention. He's putting out fires everywhere. Month 7 after opening location 6, Carlos closes it. Total loss, 3 million pesos. But the damage spreads. Location 5 closes next. Then location 4. He cannot manage the chaos. By year 6, he is down to 2 locations, barely surviving. He lost everything he built. His ladder broke at rung 6. He fell to rung 2. Carlos sits in his original restaurant, defeated, exhausted, broke. He thinks about what went wrong. He worked harder than anyone. He had the best intentions, wanted to grow, but growth destroyed him. Why? Realizes the answer staring at him. He never built steps, just jumped higher, hoping to land solidly. Every location was improvised. Every process lived in his head. Every standard depended on him being present. He tried to clone himself through willpower. It never works. He makes a decision, rebuild from one location. But this time, build the ladder before climbing it. Document everything. Create systems. Make success repeatable by someone who is not him. Slow, boring, necessary. Year 7, he operates one location only, but he spends half his time documenting. He writes down every recipe with exact measurements, every cooking technique with photos, every customer service script, every cleaning procedure, every inventory process. Creates a manual so detailed that someone with 0 restaurant experience could follow it. He tests the manual. He hires someone new. Gives them only the manual. Watches them work. They fail at step 7. The documentation was unclear. He fixes it. He tests again. They fail at step 12. He fixes it. He iterates. After 6 months, the manual works. A new hire can follow it and produce results identical to Carlos. Year 8, he opens location 2, but different this time. He does not go there. He stays at location 1. His manager's at location to use only the documented systems. No improvisation, no calling Carlos for decisions. Just follow the steps. It works. Quality is consistent. Customers are happy. Profit margins match location 1. The system transfers cleanly. This is the first solid rung on his rebuilt ladder. Year 9, he opens locations 3 and 4. Same process. Hand them the manual. They follow the steps. No customization, no interpretation, just execution. Both locations work. Quality is identical across all locations. Profit margins are consistent. Carlos still works 40 hours weekly, mostly at location 1, refining the systems. His presence is not required for other locations to succeed. Year 10 brings locations 5 through 8. The system scaled. He hires regional managers who know the manual. They oversee multiple locations. They ensure step-by-step execution. Carlos barely visits most locations. They run without him because the ladder has solid rungs. Year 12, Carlos owns 20 locations. Revenue, 120 million pesos. Profit, 36 million pesos. 30% profit margin restored. He works 30 hours weekly, mostly on system improvements and expansion planning. His locations operate consistently whether he is present or not. The system runs the business. He runs the system. Here's what Carlos discovered through failure. Scaling is not about working harder across more locations. Scaling is about building repeatable systems that produce consistent results without the founder's presence. Every successful location needs identical steps. Document those steps. Test that anyone can follow them, then scale. The broken ladder is what happens when entrepreneurs confuse effort with systems. Carlos worked 100 hours weekly at 5 locations. That was effort. Effort does not scale. He worked 30 hours weekly at 20 locations. That was systems. Systems scale. Most entrepreneurs are Carlos in year 5. He's working insane hours, revenue growing, profit disappearing. Chaos everywhere. They think they need to work harder. They need to build systems. But building systems feels slow when you want to grow fast, so they skip it. They pay the price at rung 6. Check your own business. Can it run without you for 30 days? No, you have no system. You have a job you created. Can someone new produce your results by following written steps? If no, your success lives in your head. It cannot scale. The trap is thinking. Documentation is boring overhead. It is not overhead. It is the foundation of scale. Carlos spent 6 months documenting one location that felt slow. But that documentation enabled 20 locations. Without it, he could barely manage 5. First, stop expanding immediately. You heard that right? stop. If you cannot run your current operation without your constant presence, you are not ready to scale. Adding locations now will break your ladder. Accept this truth. Second, document your core process completely. Choose the one process that creates your main result. For Carlos, it was food preparation. For you, it might be service delivery or product creation, customer onboarding. Whatever makes you money, document every single step with no assumed knowledge. Third, test the documentation with someone new. Hand them the written steps. No verbal explanation, no helping. Just watch them follow your documentation. They will fail. Your documentation is incomplete. Every failure point shows you where to add detail. Fix it. Test again. Repeat until they succeed. Fourth, measure whether results match your personal results. If your documented process produces 80% of the quality you produce personally, your documentation is incomplete. Find the gap. Document that. Test again. You need 95% minimum before you scale. Fifth, implement the system in your current operation completely. Everyone follows the documented steps. No exceptions. No improvisation. This will feel constraining. That constraint is the system working. Measure results for 90 days. Consistent. Your system is solid. Inconsistent. Your documentation has gaps. Only after these 5 steps do you scale, not before. Month 1 of documentation feels wasteful. You are writing instead of growing. Your competitors are opening new locations. You are writing manuals. This feels like losing. You are building the ladder they are skipping. Month 6, your documentation works. Anyone can follow it. Your business runs without you. Now you have a system. Year 2, you scale to 3 locations. They work because the system works. Your competitors are at 5 locations working themselves to death, putting out fires. You are at 3 locations, working 40 hours weekly with consistent profit margins. Year 5, you're at 15 locations. Your competitors who rushed to 5 locations are back down to 2 after their ladder broke. Or they are still stuck at 5, working 100 hours weekly. You are scaling systematically because you built the ladder first. Carlos learned through catastrophic failure. You can learn through his experience. Build the repeatable steps before you climb. Test that others can follow them. Only then scale. Boring ladder building beats exciting ladder breaking. Broken ladder happens when you confuse revenue growth with business growth. Revenue can grow through effort multiplication. Business grows through system multiplication. One creates exhaustion. The other creates freedom. Are you building a ladder with solid rungs, or jumping to broken rungs hoping they hold? That decision determines whether you scale to 20 locations or collapse at location 6, or more frameworks ahead.